A very warm welcome and a happy new year to everyone who is joining us today for the Zoho Assist Rewind webinar. Once again, I'd like to gladly welcome you all for joining us on this yearly tradition of Zoho Assist 2025 Rewind, where we look back at all the different features that we've launched the last year and how they add value to how people use Zoho Assist and remote support capabilities for their organizations. However, before we proceed, a quick confirmation. Please confirm if you're able to hear my voice, see the screen that I'm sharing with you all, and still be able to see me over the video feed here. You can do this confirmation using the chat option that you see here, or you could use a thumbs up or thumbs down to let me know that you're able to view the screen or not. Waiting for a few confirmations. Perfect. There we go. I see a few on screen. So let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Amrish. I am a product marketer for Zoho Assist and Zoho Lens products here in Zoho Assist. And I've also been helping organizations get adapted to using Zoho Assist, helping them with using the application and getting to know more about the product when we engage with users. And for today's webinar, where we're going to be looking at what we've released in the last year, here is a quick uh, update or the agenda, what we're going to be discussing today. First, we'll have a quick look at some of the major features that we've launched for this year. Specifically, these are OS agnostic, or these were specific features that have been highly requested by our users. Next, we'll dive into OS specific updates starting with Windows, macOS, and Linux, where we look at all the different features that we've released specific to these operating systems. We've also got a few updates that were rolled out for mobile operating systems such as Android and iOS devices. And as always, we've always got a few changes or upgrades that are always ready for our admins to be able to easily manage and take care of their organizations. Now, apart from all these points that we're going to be discussing for today, I also have an expert team who are available beside me who will be answering any questions that do come up over the course of this entire webinar. So if you have any questions, feel free to raise them using the Q&A section that you'll see on the toolbar below, and our team here will help you with all these questions instantly. So here's a quick look at all the different features that we've got here, and we'll also go into depth into each of these features. And the first one is obviously with Co-Browse. Now, Co-Browse is an exciting new release that we've launched with Zoho Assist, where with the Zoho Assist co-browsing feature, you will be able to quickly help your users or guide them over their web pages. In case you're onboarding a customer, or you're helping them through a few troubleshooting steps, or you're guiding them through a few processes that are complex, but you want to make it simple for them. Enter Co-Browse, where users will be able to join a remote support or a screen sharing session without actually needing to download any file, with the added privacy benefits, where as an organization vendor or a website owner, you'll be able to mask and remove all the PI information from being visible during the session. So with added security features and with also being able to make compliance, achieve compliance targets, you're also making it easier for the customers to join a session right from within the browser, and in which way you'll be able to quickly assist users during your remote sessions. Now, the process of setting up your co-browsing session on your web page is quite simple. So to do that, all you need to do is, I'm going to quickly switch to the Zoho Assist console. You'll have to visit assist.zoho.com or assist.zoho.in based upon your data center that you've signed up in. Once you're logged into your Zoho Assist account, you'll find the co-browse option available on the top bar. You can click on it. If it's the first time you're heading to this tab, you'll have the option to configure it now, where you'll have to click on configure to create your own co-browsing widget that you can embed onto your web page. You've got options to choose the widget's color. And as you can see here, any changes that I make here will automatically be reflecting in this appearance on the site. I can update my widget title. So let's just say, get quick help from the experts. And I can provide a description. So the description is what is going to be visible over here. I can also add any steps if needed, or keep it the same way. And then all I need to do is, once I've done this, I just need to click on save, and this will automatically get saved. And this is how your widget is going to look like in terms of appearance. All you need to do is simply copy this widget and then you'll have to provide this to your web page owner, which is your developers who are going to be managing your web page. Or if you are yourself managing your web page, you'll just need to copy this file or the script and embed it onto your web page. Once that is done, what happens is this particular widget will always be available on your own web page. And anytime a customer needs help, all they need to do is just join a session from here. As a technician, to start a session, all you need to do is the same process as we've been doing for Zoho Assist all these years. Simply click on Start Now, and a new session will be generated with a 6-digit alphanumeric key in this case here. Now, you just need to share this 6-digit key to your customers, and the customers on your web page will simply need to click on the co-browse widget that is available for them, enter their name, enter in the session ID that you've provided them, and then click on Join, whereby automatically a session will be established for you. No downloads are needed, no complex steps of guiding your customers through the different joining processes. Just quick launching your session and then joining the session instantly here. Now, let me quickly show you how this feels in a real world scenario with an example. So you see here, the tab on the left is the technician's window, where the technician has started the session with the session ID. And on the right tab here is the customer, where they've just clicked on this widget. They've entered the session ID, they're providing their name here, and then just simply clicking on join. Once they do that, the technician, as you see here, will receive a prompt. They just need to click on accept. Once that's done, as you can see here, the session is established. And during the session, you'll be able to see all the actions that are being done by the technician. As you can see here, the customer is just moving their cursor over here, and the same will be visible to the technician here as the customer's cursor. And you'll also have options for you to perform annotations on this as the technician. I can simply click on annotation and then do these annotations. This will automatically be visible for the customer as well. Similarly, if needed, if let's say I just need to control the particular computer, I can also request for control and get the necessary access. And as you can see here, whenever the customer is typing or moving their cursor, that will also automatically be visible for me, and along with the actions that are being done by them. So if I'm already on a call with them or I'm communicating with them, I can just see what they are doing there. And similarly, even if I request for control, my cursor will also be visible for the customer on their end. So you can see here, I'm doing a few annotations on the screen as a technician. That is also visible for the customer. They can just do the actions that are being mentioned here. Or when the technician requests for a control and the customer accepts it, the technician will also be able to control just that particular browser tab that is being shared there, and you'll be able to guide them over the session too. So as you can see here, I'm requesting for a control, and then the customer receives a control request. When they click on accept, I can then control the screen. You can see here quickly, this is the technician's view where the customer's mouse cursor is visible for me. And similarly, on the customer's side, the technician's mouse cursor will also visible for me. This way, collaboration between the technician and the customer can be made simpler. And also, technicians and the customers will be able to easily communicate with each other as well. Now, apart from all these different features that we mentioned, technicians and the customers will also be able to communicate with each other easily. And moreover, from a security perspective, only this particular browser tab is going to be visible for the technician. And even if the customer switches to a different tab, the technician will no longer be able to see the new screen that is being moved to, and they'll only be able to see this particular screen that is being shared with them. This way, in scenarios such as, or organizations such as financial institutions, banking sectors, insurance providers, and so on, where compliance is a key factor, and they do not need full-on remote control scenario where they need entire device access, but they're just going to be guiding their customers on the particular screen that they're looking at, co-browse becomes a perfect option or a choice for both the technician and for supporting your end users. If you have any questions on how co-browse works, or you need help with configuring your co-browse for your own setup, or you want to just have a go at it, give it a try and see how it works for you, feel free to drop a question over the Q&A section, and our support team will get in touch with you to help you with the co-browsing options as well. Now, the second update that we've launched last year is the Quick Support app, which is a dedicated application for the customers for them to join the remote support sessions. Now, the usual procedure that used to be earlier was the customers can visit join.zoho.com, enter the session ID that is being provided by the customer, and then join the session. Or we had provided a customer plugin earlier where the plugin was just branded with Zoho's icon. They'll just double click on the application, enter the session ID, and then join the session. Now, with the updated quick support application, we provide a host of customization options as well available for the customers. So, you as organization admins or as super admins can customize the customer plugin for your own branding requirements and then share that with your customers so that they know exactly whom they're joining a remote support session with. So to manage or create your own quick support application, once again, log into your Zoho Assist console, click on the settings option on the top right corner, and then click on quick support that you see here under remote support. Once you do that, these are already created applications or plugins, but for you to create a new one, you can just simply click on add plugin, provide a name for the plugin. So for this one, I'll just say Zoho Assist Rewind Webinar to be. So this will reflect on the plugin's name, and then I can give a title for the plugin, get instance support. And as you can see here, this reflects here. I can create preferences where I can only allow technicians to join the sessions from this, or in case I can also have them request for a support from our existing service implementation that can also be done. Enabling this or disabling this just creates the respective tabs on the screen as you can see here. And once that's done, I can map it to specific departments so specific users will get access to the application. I can choose a theme for the application that can also be customized from here. I've got a logo or banner that can be updated, which will reflect over here as well. Once these are done, all I need to do is just click on create plugin, and then this will be created. And you can see this here. For your users to be able to download it, all you need to do is just click on the share application, copy it, and then send it to your users directly, or you can also share it via email for them. So once they receive this, all they need to do is just quickly click on the download option and then just execute the file on their computer. And when they do, this is how the application will look like for them on their computer. And whenever you start a session and you want your customer to join the session, you can simply ask them to open up the plugin, provide the session ID, ask them to give their name, and then click on join. And they'll automatically be joining a session with you instantly from their browser itself. You do not need to guide them over the web page, have them download the app again and join the session, or make it easier and simpler for them to even join session or raise a request during your Zoho Assist applications. The next major update that we've done with Zoho Assist is a Zapier integration, where we've provided all the necessary starting and functions that are available in Zoho Assist via Zapier. So automation fans or people who love to be able to automate all their experiences or functionalities in their daily workflow will be able to take advantage of the Zapier integration that is available here to take use of all the different APIs and make the necessary workflows available for them. Now, the additional highlight on top of this is the Zapier MCP protocol is also available for Zoho Assist. So if you want to be able to create AI agents for you to make your works easier, that can also be done using Zoho Assist and the existing Zapier integration that we have here. The next major release that we've done for Zoho Assist is the virtual monitor feature, whereby if you're connecting to a computer which is having just one monitor and you want to add 2 or 3 additional monitors, or there's a scenario where you're connecting to a computer, a headless computer, or a Mac Mini which does not have a monitor connected to it. Excuse me. So if you're connecting to a headless monitor or you're connecting to a Mac Mini which does not have a monitor connected to it, once you're connected to the particular device using Zoho Assist, you can simply click on the virtual monitor option, which will automatically create additional monitors for you based upon your requirement. If you even need 2 or 3 monitors, you'll be able to create them, and then you can have them mapped to your own multi-monitor setup that you've got here. So for example, let's say I have a main monitor here and an additional monitor over there, and the remote computer that I'm connecting to is having only one monitor. What I can also do is create a virtual monitor, map the first monitor to my screen and the second monitor to the additional monitor that I've created here. So this way, I can replicate the multi-monitor setup that I have on my end on the remote computer as well, even if there is only one hardware monitor present. And this way, I'll be able to increase or make my workflow even easier and improve my performance with 2 monitors available for me as well. So the virtual monitor feature right now is available with your unattended access computer. So whenever you're connecting to a computer which does not have a monitor or is only one monitor, you need a dual monitor setup, you can go ahead and create them using the virtual monitor feature that we've released last year. The next feature that we've also released, more like an update to the existing joining process, is the session progress stages in Zoho Assist. So what this basically does is, in a scenario where a technician is guiding their customers through the join process, and the customer is going through the process of accessing the join URL, entering the session ID, downloading the application, and then running the agent to join the session, to give a bit more transparency to the technicians and help them to guide the customers even easier, we've released these session progress stages within Zoho Assist. So what this basically does is, whenever your technician is sharing the session ID or the URL to the customer, and the customer visits join.zoho.com and enters the session ID, you'll automatically be updated that the customer has accessed the join URL. When they click on the download button to download the Zoho Assist application, the second step starts wherein they'll be able to download and run the file. So it'll be easier for you as a technician to guide your customers and then just say, okay, you've got this step done, you'll be able to go ahead with the next step, and so on. And once they've run the application, you'll also be notified that they're installing the application and running it. So that way, you'll also know that they're about to join the session. The screen is going to be visible for you, and you'll be able to quickly get access over their screen, and then you'll be able to work on. So these stages, we're also working on upgrading a few more progress stages here. So it is even more transparent for you to guide your customers over the remote session, specifically during the joining process. Now, this is also a major update for customers working across the globe, where we are starting to provide IEM keyboard support, or the input editor method, wherein you've got customers working on different keyboards layouts, such as the Chinese or Japanese or different ones, and you're working connected to them through Zoho Assist. With the IEM keyboard support, you'll be able to make use of these additional keyboard languages too, and support customers effortlessly on the specific keyboards that setup that they're using on their end. Now, a major change that we've done to Zoho Assist for the past year in terms of making Zoho Assist accessible and available to users across different wide spectrums is compliance for WCAG. So accessibility and compliance is not a second thought or an afterthought with Zoho Assist anymore. And with this recent release that we've done, users will be able to tweak different settings in terms of accessibility and readability within their Zoho Assist console and use it for their own requirements. Now, the WCAG compliance that you need to enable for your organization can be done simply from your profile itself. So to do that, you can simply log into Zoho Assist, click on your profile icon on the top right corner, and click on accessibility under here, where you've got different accessibility features based upon your vision, your hearing, your mobility, and learning as well. You've got all these different options available under each of these options that you can enable or disable based upon your own specific requirements. Once these have been enabled, you'll be able to quickly and easily navigate through different options and settings available with Zoho Assist. And even if you need help with setting up any of these options, you can feel free to get in touch with our support team using the live chat that is available on the bottom of the toolbar here, or the contact us toolbar available here, with which you'll be able to raise a request to our support team, and we'll be able to help you quickly with setting up either the accessibility settings or any settings or configurations that is needed for your Zoho Assist account. Now, one other change that we've also done is providing support for right to left, which is specific in terms of providing support for languages like Arabic, Urdu, and so on. So in an effort to be able to provide support to different languages and different users, we've been enabling right to left support for the Zoho Assist application as well. And this was also being widely rolled out across the different data centers. Now, we'll be heading into the different OS specific features that we've launched last year, and we'll quickly run through the different features that are available here. Starting off with the Windows features, we've enabled support for HEVC video codec support, or the H265 format, wherein with this change specifically, we've been able to optimize the amount of data that is used for transmitting data, and at the same time be able to provide better video quality in terms of compression and decompression. So users working on different networks, or even if they're in longer regions where technicians in an entirely different region, or the customers in an entirely different region, these changes improve the overall video compatibility, so your session feels a lot more smoother and effective during your remote sessions. Now, we've also provided support for URS deployment via OS scaling. So users who've been creating a master copy or a golden image of your operating system and installing all the applications on your computers, you'll be able to deploy the Zoho Assist unattended agent as well via the OS scaling method. So you can create your golden image with a specific copy or a version of the Zoho Assist application. And once the entire golden image has been deployed to all the different computers, you can simply run a script to enable the Zoho Assist application on all these different computers. And in an instant, all these devices will be visible under your Zoho Assist console as well. We've also provided support for bulk deployment of the customer plugin. So the customer plugin that we saw earlier can also be silently installed using any of the deployment methods available in Zoho Assist, or even if you've got your own Intune or Azure setup where you want to bulk deploy the customer plugin in your own office environment, you'll be able to do that using Zoho Assist customer plugin right now. Now, we've also released the diagnostic tools feature in our native viewer. So in our effort to be able to improve all the functionalities and maintain equal functionalities between both our web-based viewer and native application, here we've also released the diagnostic tool support in native viewer. And with that, right now, we've supported all major features that are available both on our web-based viewer and our native viewer as well. So users who prefer having a native application to join or run remote support sessions, or would like to have an entire window where they can have full control during your remote sessions, can take advantage of a native viewer, which is available in Zoho Assist. And now with the addition of the diagnostic tools feature, all the major features that are available with the web-based viewer are also available in the native viewer. So there's not going to be any discrepancy in terms of the features available, or you do not need to have to choose the web-based viewer over the native viewer anymore. So users who've been a fan of a native viewer can start using all the features going ahead as well. Now, specifically moving on to Mac OS, the first and major one is going to be the support for Mac OS 24 or Mac OS Tahoe, wherein if you've got your devices updated to these operating systems, you would already know by now that Zoho Assist is already compatible. Or if you're thinking about switching to the latest Mac OS operating system, you can be rest assured that Zoho Assist works both as a technician and as a customer as well. Now, apart from that, during your remote support sessions, if you're connecting to a macOS device, the session details is also available for you, which was earlier available with Windows devices alone, can now be available with macOS devices as well. So when you're connected to a session, the session title, the type of remote support session, the start time of the session, the IP address of the computer to which you're connected to, the participant details who are all available. All of these details will start to be available for you for your macOS sessions as well. Now, we've also extended our support of multi-monitor to macOS devices too. So if you've got a macOS device on the remote customer's end, which has got multiple monitors, you'll be able to replicate the same setup on your technician's end too. So you'll be able to map your own primary monitor to the Mac device's primary monitor and your secondary monitor to the macOS secondary monitor. So this way, you can improve your efficiency when you're working on two monitors simultaneously during your Zoho Assist session. Now, switching on, you've also got support for remote audio being launched with macOS devices. So if you're connected to a macOS device running macOS 26 or even the macOS 10.9 and above, you'll be able to listen to the audio that is playing on the remote computer. So in case you've got a YouTube video playing on the other end, or you've got a CCTV recording that you're playing, or even if there's an audio file that is playing on the end that you want to have a listen to during your remote session, you can simply click on the session tab, click on the remote audio option during your remote session, and the same audio will start to play over the speakers or your headphones that you're connected to on the device that is present in front of you. Now, moving on to the Linux OS specific features. The first one is support for Linux. So it is a secure version of the Linux operating system where you've got additional features and capabilities that is now compatible with Zoho Assist as well. So users of Linux, or if you're looking at Linux support, that is compatible and available with Zoho Assist. You've also got the same quick access to device details available for Linux devices that I showed earlier with Mac OS 2. And the remote audio functionality that we have available with Mac OS is similarly available for Linux devices as well. So we've done all the necessary catch up in terms of features with the Windows counterparts. So all the major features that are supported with Zoho Assist right now is available across Windows, Mac, and Linux devices. And few specific features are also specific to these operating systems such as Mac and Linux. So users will be able to support devices across the globe, across different operating systems, easily without having to worry about any function availabilities in Zoho Assist. We've also enabled the advanced session audit of Linux devices with Zoho Assist. So whenever you connect to a Windows operating to a Linux operating system, and then you work on any specific applications, you're running any specific apps, you're doing any specific applications, the entire audit report of all the different activities that were done during the remote session for a Linux device will also be available going forward in your Zoho Assist console. In terms of mobile specific features, we've recently launched the support for deploying the Zoho Assist iOS application, be it both the technician app or the customer app, via any MDM applications available in Zoho Assist. So, be it the managed MDM softwares or any third party MDM vendors that you're using, you'll be able to deploy the Zoho Assist technician app or the customer app on all the mobile devices that you're managing using the MDM software that you're using here. We've got the necessary scripts available with us, and you'll be able to simply run them to be able to have Zoho Assist deployed on these devices. Now, we've also updated our gesture navigations with Android devices with the latest update. So your gesture navigation when you're connected to a computer during your Android from your Android device will be a lot more native, a lot more intuitive when you're connected to these devices using the Zoho Assist Technician application. We've also updated the picture-in-picture mode support for iOS devices. So if you're connected to a computer from your iOS device, be it your iPhone or an iPad, and you want to quickly switch between applications or look at different applications where you're working simultaneously, you can enter Zoho Assist session into a picture-in-picture mode. So you can just have this available on a tab. You can check the progress of any reports that you're running or scripts that you're executing on one hand, while still be able to seamlessly work on different application or check for different softwares or updates and so on the particular device itself. Now, apart from all these specific features that we've launched for all these different operating systems, we've also launched a few admin-specific management tasks or tools that are available with Zoho Assist. So to begin with, the device details that are available in your reports and settings can now have additional features as well. Details such as your device's on time, off time, more details about when they were last connected to it. All these information are quickly going to be available for you in your direct reports view itself. Earlier, you'll have to manually look into all these different settings by enabling them into each of these reports. Now you can just enable them with the option that you have in the reports page, and you'll be able to view them directly during your remote support session, during your consoles itself. We've also increased the bulk actions that you do on the Zoho Assist console. Earlier, it used to be limited to just 50 sessions, 50 devices, or 50 actions at any given time. Now that is increased to more numbers, so we don't have a direct limit there. You'll be able to do bulk actions on a large number of devices as well. We are also creating an inactive technician report that is available with Zoho Assist. So the reports of your technicians who are no longer a part of your organization, or if you've even removed them, you'll still be able to access their reports from the Zoho Assist console here. We've also made enhancements to the groups where we're now supporting dynamic groups. So instead of having static groups for your unattended devices, when you're creating a group, you can specify the type of group that it needs to be it a static or a dynamic. And you can set up workflows or criteria when you're creating this dynamic group. And whenever a new device has been configured and it matches the criteria that has been mentioned in this particular dynamic group, it automatically get added to that particular group going forward. We also have enabled an option where you'll be able to move devices across the different departments in Zoho Assist without having to necessarily create a group for this specific scenario. Earlier, the process used to be where you have to create a group, move the devices into this particular group first, and then move this entire group to a new department. Now, without having to go through this hassle of creating a group, you can simply move a device directly from one department to another department whenever you need to do so. We're also providing the user login history in the device activity going forward. So whenever you want to have a look at, instead of having to go through the report separately, you can just click on the device activity, and you'll be able to find all the different user logins that is available for you in an instantly. So these are all the different options and features that we've launched last year to help users, be it during the sessions, to be effectively work on the remote device, starting it with co-browse, a brand new way for users to help their customers, or the different features in terms of compatibility, IEM keyboard support, and so on, where you'll be able to effectively work on remote computers, the different OS specific features, be it for codec supports with Windows devices, new operating system support for Mac devices, or existing feature updates for Linux devices and iOS devices and Android devices. This way, we've made sure that users, when using Zoho Assist, have the utmost ability to be able to work efficiently during the remote session. And from an admin perspective, too, admins are being able to manage their organization easier and better using Zoho Assist. Now, if you have any questions with regards to any of these features that we've discussed so far, or if you need help with any of them, feel free to raise any Q&As over the Q&A section, and our team will help you with it. And we've also got a poll where we're asking you to let us know if you're interested in learning more in any of these features. If so, please have your choice polled over the poll option, and our team will get in touch with you to help you with these features as well. Now, once again, I'd like to thank you all for joining us today on this webinar and having a look at all the different features that we've launched over the past year. We hope that these add value to your organization and help you to be able to effectively work over your remote sessions with your customer. If you enjoyed knowing about these options and you would like to rate this entire training on a scale of 1 to 5, you'll have a poll come up right now. You can just enable the poll and you can let us know how this webinar was useful for you. And once again, feel free to raise any Q&A questions, or if you need help with any of these features or setting up it for your organization, feel free to drop a mail to support@zohoassist.com, and our team will help you with it instantly. Once again, thank you for joining us today. We wish you a happy new year ahead.